Hello guys, welcome back, and in this lesson I want to show you how to send emails using Laravel the right way. I'll be using cPanel detail to configure this email, so you can follow along if you have cPanel, but these same details you can be able to get from Gmail and be able to configure your email. Alright, so in this case I'll be using cPanel. So if I go to my cPanel here, the first time you create an email, for example a test email or something, it will bring you this data: the username, the password, the incoming server, the outgoing server, and then we have these ports here. So the data that we only need is the username. We need the username, and we also need the password, and we need this port 465. That is the only data we need from this cPanel. All right. So the first thing you need to do is go inside your env file, and then you have this mail section here. The mailer here is SMTP. The mail host is going to be the domain of your cPanel. In my case here, let me just copy the username here, go back here. So the username I'm going to paste here. The port, as we have seen, is going to be 465. The password that I've put here is test 12345 at like that, and then the encryption 465 is TLS. All right, and then the mail from address is going to be the same as the username, and then the mail host here is going to be our domain, so like this. So that is it. Once you have done that, you are ready to go. You have already configured your email, the mail host, the mail SMTP, the mail host, the mail port, the username, the password, the mail encryption, the address, and the mail from name. All right. So the next thing that I'm going to do here is that I'm going to create an email controller here that will be handling our email. So let me just clean up a few of things here, and then let me go to the routes here and also do some bit of cleanup here. We need a controller to be handling our emails. We also need a route which will be executing the controller for sending our emails. All right. So inside our project here, I'm going to say PHP artisan. I'm going to make a controller here. Make controller. This controller, I'm going to call this email controller, like this. So our controller is created. So if we go now to our controller, we have the email controller here. It doesn't have anything. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to our web.php and I'm going to create a route here. So this route is the one that will be used to send the email. So I'll just call this route something like send email, and then this of course should go to the email controller, this guy here, and then the method will be send email like that. And then of course I need to create this method inside our guy here. So I'll just go inside here, just say public function send email. So for now this guy is not going to send anything. For now this is okay. We just created this function and our control. We just created this function and our route. So the next thing that we need to do is to create a mailable class. All right. So the mailable class is the class that will be used by our controller to actually configure the email and actually configure also the email template and everything that you need to have the email working. All right. So I'm going to say PHP artisan make, and this is going to be make mail. All right, and the name of the email template or the mailable class is going to be test email in our case here. Then press enter. So this will create a mail folder inside our inside our app folder here. So let me confirm here. All right, it has created that one. So if we go now inside our app here, we have this mail folder here, and we have this mail class here. So this mail class has a number of things. So it has this constructor. Of course, the constructor is for initiating this class. And then it has this envelope. Envelope is configuring things like the from details, the to object, the to details, the CC detail, the BCC detail. So actually, if I go to this envelope class here, as you can see, it has the from, it has the to, it has the CC, it has BCC, it has reply to, it has the subject, it has the tags, it has the metadata, it has the using. So you can be able to configure all these things using this envelope method here. And then it has the content. Now the content is the one that is used to define the template that will be used with this email. So in our case here, it will be a view that will be passed here. So I'm going to create a view here very fast. So inside the view class, I'm going to create a file here. Let us call this test underscore email dot blade dot php. All right. So this is going to be our guy test email.blade.php, and inside this guy I'm going to define a simple HTML structure here. HTML, inside here we are going to have, of course, a head. Inside the head we are going to have the title. All right, this should be the title. Inside the title we are going to say maybe test email. Below the head we are going to have the body. Inside the body we are going to have a div, and inside this div I'm going just to have an h1, and then this should be h1, and then here I'm going to just do something like this for now. So let us go back to our test email. So this is where you define the blade file that should be used as a template for your email, and in this case we have test email. All right, our guy here, test email. And then lastly here we have a function attachment. This is used to send things like PDF and any file that you want to attach to an email. And lastly, we also need to let us say, for example, we need to pass data to our test email blade template here so that it can be used in this test email template. The way you can do this is just to declare a variable here public, and this public variable will be publicly available to our test email blade template. So for now I can say something like name, and then this guy will be available in our test email blade template. So if I go to our view here, I can say something like name, and this will get the name from the mailable class. So I can say something like hi Kevin, then I can maybe put a comma here and say this is a test email, something like that, just something dummy like that. So this name here will be gotten from our test public variable here. Anything that is being declared public here will be publicly available to our views. All right, and our view is called from this guy here. All right, and then of course, and then we have the envelope here which defines the subject, the from, the to, all those things. So for now, to send an email, this is enough. Then we need now to go to our guy here, send email, inside our controller, and we need to call the mail class, and then we'll call the to. The to here we need to pass the, I need to import this, so let me just import this. The to here we need to pass the users. If there are many users, you will pass an array here, but for now I just need to pass my email, that is, and then I need to say, to call another method by the name send, and inside this guy you need to specify the mailable class, which is test email in our case. All right, test email. So this is the mailable class that we did create. So this is what you'll be passing inside here, this guy here, and then you need to call it this way. So let me just see this way, then like that. So I'll call the mailable class that we have here, and then I can pass data here. So I'm passing a name here. Let me do this. This name should be Kevin Amai, like this. And then in our test email, of course, we need to accept this name that I'm passing to the constructor this way. And then I'll also set now our public name to be this name that is coming from the constructor. So I'll do something like this and say that the name that we have here publicly available is the name that will be coming from the constructor. So if I go back to our test email, everything now is okay, and that is it. So your controller will only be calling this mail2 class with the required variable without necessarily declaring all the logic in this controller. And now if you go to our test email mail class, we have the public name, which is readily available and can be accessed in the view. And then we have the name, this public, being accepted by the controller. Then we have the envelope where you declare the subject and the from name, the from address, all those things. Then we have the content of the email, which is now based on the template or the view that we created. Then we have any attachment that we need. So that is it. And if now I go back to our web, we need to go to this route /send email, and it will be able to send our email. So let me just start my server here. So I'll start the server here by saying php artisan serve, like this. That is fine. And then one thing I can do here is that once I've sent the email, I can add maybe a dd down here and say something like email was sent successfully, something like that. So now if I go to the browser, I need to go to the route /send email to send the email, then press enter. So far it seems that no error has occurred, and it tells me that email was sent successfully. So let me just go to my email here and just do a refresh here. And so as you can see, we have our email here. This is the Laravel course, and if I click here, so as you can see, we have the data that we did pass. Hi Kevin Amai, the name coming from the test mailable class, and then we have, this is a test email. But one thing with this email is that, let me just resend this thing again. You see it's still loading. It takes quite some seconds before it actually sends the email. So it has sent the email. So in my next lesson, I'll be showing you how to queue this email so that you can be able to reduce this execution time, and you can be able to send this email using things like jobs, and which will greatly improve the user experience. All right. So, but for now, that is how you send email using Laravel the right way. And until we meet again, bye bye.